Alright, welcome back everyone. I'm Leuz here. So this is going to be the last part of the Leuz's task, Commander Leuz's task, and just wrapping up some loose ends. You don't need to do this part, but you can get some extra faction for turning in that scout report at the end. But you have to be at least warmly, I believe, on live. So there's a couple things that I wanted to mention about this quest. Let me pull it up. So Scout Carissa, that quality image, but Scout Carissa, she's a bit different on live as she is on P99. So I think the spawn times are the same. She spawns every 10 hours, but on live, because there's instancing, there could be different picks up of Western Waste, and she can be in different picks. So you can actually spawn probably multiple versions of her by doing pick spawning, by getting enough people in the zone, getting a different pick, and you could probably farm this part on live as well. On live, they implemented this feature recently where you see that little asterisk after the scout in their name. It's loot locking. So there's some quests now, like especially parts of epics, that when you turn in the trigger item, like the scout tools, like I have here, when you turn in the trigger item to that NPC, it locks their loot. And what I mean by that is that the only person that'd be allowed to turn in the final quest item to her, from my understanding, would be the person who triggered the special version of her. The only one that'd be able to loot the broken disc off of the Kromzek captain would be the person who triggered the quest. So that's one thing definitely to keep in mind. That's how live works. And just recently too, that they implemented the NPC lock just recently. But on P99, since there is no instancing and there's a tremendous load of competition, this is how they did it on Blue. So this is a quick view. Yeah, Scout Carissa player agreement. It comes from a forum post where this isn't actually by the GMs, this was actually made by the community. And roughly what the rules are is that you have to have the scout tools in the first place, and it's asked that people who come to do this part, they stay and help to kill the Kromzek captain, because if he doesn't get killed, then it's kind of a waste of time. The quicker that Scout Carissa despawns, the quicker that she'll repop 10 hours later. And within about 5 minutes of the spawn, or pretty quick, everyone does a random, typically 1,000 or 10,000, whatever it is. Whoever gets the highest gets to turn in their tools, and they get to loot the end piece. That's kind of how it works there. So one other last thing that I want to mention, from what I was able to determine, you don't need faction really with Scout Carissa. All you need is indifferent. So you can sneak behind her. So if you trash your faction, but you have the scout tools, you can still do the quest so long as you can sneak. But in order to even start the quest, you do need some certain degree of faction. So what degree of faction varies. As far as I could tell on live, you have to be at least warmly to Claws of Vishan for Commander Leuz to even talk to you. So you have to be warmly on live, and on P99 it says amiable to get the scout tools. So you don't have the faction as much. So I definitely keep that in mind, and it is confirmed. I absolutely know 100%. It is warmly on live. You do need warmly. So thank you guys all so much. Thank you so much to everybody who came out, Caribou and Tinkerballs and all them. Really appreciate it. Kiru. Really nice piece of gear. And it kind of makes these resist armbands a bit invalidated, because it gives you more cold resist and it gives you more magic resist. The only reason why you'd want to use these Velium is if you're low on disease or poison, which is it's not very common. So Alrighty, thank you guys all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.